everyone. Thanks for being a part.
Well, thank you for staying with us. Let's move to our second topic of discourse today. Now, implementing the right change management strategy is crucial to ensuring any transformative project is a success. In many businesses, change happens almost on a daily basis. Some changes are small, like updates and onto how you ask your team members to request for other things. Now, others are huge, influencing how your business runs, team's dynamics, or even which product you sell. As a core part of your comprehensive change management plan, change management strategies help companies to avoid a cascade of adverse consequences to poorly implemented transitions. Successful change management relies on the contribution of effective planning and execution alongside a commitment to constantly engaging and supporting stakeholders. Mr. Dennis Ekara is a business analyst. He joins me live from the United Kingdom. Mr. Ekara, thank you so much. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Good afternoon.
Great stuff. Now, well, let me start this way. Now, why do so many businesses struggle with change? And what are the key factors that determine successful transformation?
So let me first start by diving into defining the key elements here. So change management. Change management is the structured approach businesses take to transition from their current state to a desired future state. Despite this importance, studies have shown, according to McKinsey in the year 2023, that 70% of change initiatives fail. And the question is very important because, let's be honest, if change was easy, every business would be thriving effortlessly. But reality has painted that this is a different picture. Many businesses struggle with change, and it boils down to key 5 factors. Firstly, the complacency with the status quo. You know, many organizations operate on the if it ain't broke, don't fix it mindset. And these organizations, they're entrenched in their current ways. And this makes them resist change, leading to mixed opportunities. A notable example is Nokia, which once dominated the mobile phone industry, but failed to adapt quickly to the smartphone revolution. And their reluctance to embrace this touchscreen technology led to their downfall, which resulted into a significant decline in their market share. Secondly, lack of clear vision. Change without a well-defined direction is like setting sail without a map, and employees need to understand why the change is happening and what the future holds for them. According to a report by Gartner in 2022, only 1/3 of change initiatives succeed, often due to a lack of clear vision and communication. Then thirdly, poor communication. Poor communication can lead to misunderstandings and resistance among employees. And that's why if leaders fail to clearly articulate the why behind the change, employees will fill the gaps with speculations, often leading to resistance. And also in 2022, there's a Gartner report which highlighted that over 80% of organizations manage change from the top down, a strategy that can be disconnected from today's workflow and may slow organizations down. Fourthly, we have the inadequate leadership support. When top management isn't fully on board and committed, it sends down mixed feelings to the employees, and they quickly pick up that hesitation, undermining the change effort. Leadership must not only approve change, but they must actively drive it. And finally, but not the least, cultural resistance. People naturally resist what they are unfamiliar with. Say if an organization culture is deeply rooted in the way we've been doing things, change will be met with hesitation, outright pushback from the employees. Now, what determines success? First, strong leadership commitment. Leaders must champion change initiatives to inspire confidence and commitment throughout the organization. Secondly, transparent communication, clearly articulating the reasons for the change and envisage outcomes. It helps in aligning the teams with the organization goals. Thirdly, employee involvement. engaging employees in the change process fosters ownership and reduces resistance. In 2022, a Gartner report suggests that organizations that implement open source change strategies are 14 times more likely to achieve change success. Last but not the least, adaptability. Flexibility in approach allows organizations to navigate unforeseen challenges effectively. These key factors all play a critical role. If businesses can master these elements, they'll turn change from a challenge into a fantastic opportunity.
Brief, you went really into details, Mr. Dennis, to really break this down. But let me follow up and ask you that now, what practical steps can business leaders take to manage resistance and ensure employees embrace change?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. So managing resistance isn't about forcing change down people's throats. It's about guiding them through it. I'll say there are like 5 practical steps leaders can implement to ensure employees don't just accept change, but actively embrace it. First, communicate with clarity and transparency. Ambiguity is the enemy of change. People fear what they don't understand. So leaders must explain the reason for the change, the expected benefits, and how it affects each employee's role. Transparency builds trust and reduces uncertainties. Secondly, involve employees early in the process, in the decision-making process. Imagine you walk into your office one day and your entire workflow has been upended without prior notice. Definitely you resist it, right?
Yeah.
But if you are part of the decision-making process, you feel a sense of ownership. Research from McKinsey also indicates that involving employees in decision-making increases change success by 15%. I currently work at Development Technologies, and recently we implemented a new project management software. We involved every team member from the start. Their feedback helped in shaping the transition, making adoption even more smoother. So thirdly, leaders must provide adequate training and ongoing support. Fear of incompetence is a major driver of resistance. Leaders have to equip employees with the necessary skills and knowledge to navigate this change confidently. Thereby, it reduces anxiety and resistance. Fourthly, recognize and reward adaptation. So people respond well with positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
So acknowledging and rewarding these employees who embrace change motivates others to follow suit. Finally, address concerns proactively. Very important. You have to create channels where employees can voice their concerns, their fear, and provide timely responses to alleviate apprehensions. When people feel heard, they are more likely to support change. And by implementing these steps, leaders can turn resistance into resilience and transformation into a success story.
Now, how can companies come back to it again, strike a balance between innovation and maintaining operational stability during transformation?
Yes, this is an interesting one because business find themselves caught between 2 opposing forces. The need to innovate and the need to keep daily operations running smoothly. Striking that balance requires strategic and structured approach. First, you have to start with pilot programs instead of rolling out a major change across the entire organization overnight. Test it on a smaller scale. This helps identify and fix potential issues and also make necessary adjustments before a full rollout. Say, for example, in 2009, when GT Bank introduced the mobile banking in Nigeria, they initially launched it with a limited features to test adoption and functionality before expanding it. Secondly, implement change in phases. So a gradual transition minimizes disruption and allows employees to adapt progressively. If you're introducing a system, keep the old one running simultaneously for a period to allow a smooth switch. Thirdly, maintain core process while innovating. So while transforming or while doing the transformation in your organization, while this is happening, ensure that essential functions like customer service and product delivery remains uninterrupted. Fourth, assign dedicated teams for innovation. So one common mistake businesses make these days is expecting that their existing teams to manage both day-to-day operations and the transformation efforts. This often leads to burnout. So instead, designate a team solely responsible for driving the innovation while others keep the business running smoothly. Finally, continuous monitor and adjust. So businesses must track performance metrics throughout the change process and be flexible enough to make necessary tweaks here and there. Companies that balance these innovations overall with stability set themselves up for sustained growth without the chaos of poorly managed transitions. And by adopting these strategies, companies can foster innovations while also ensuring that their daily operations remain stable.
But now let's now look at some common or most common mistakes businesses make when implementing change. Of course, and how can they be avoided?
I love this particular question because avoiding mistakes is just as important as knowing what to do right. And there are 5 major pitfalls businesses fall into doing change implementation. One of those pitfalls is failing to consider company culture. So every company has a culture. If the change clashes with this organization values and work culture, it will face heavy resistance. So to avoid this, the best approach will be to gradually align with the new changes, with existing company norms rather than imposing something drastically different. Secondly, ineffective communication. This cannot be overstated. If employees don't fully understand the change rumors and misinformation will spread within the organization. And this will create unnecessary resistance. Businesses must ensure that communication is clear, consistent, and reaches all levels of the organization. Thirdly, excluding employees from the process. Change shouldn't be dictated from the top alone. Employees at all levels should be involved in shaping the transition to foster a sense of ownership and reduce resistance. Fourthly, unrealistic timelines. So many companies underestimate the time it takes for change to take. Rushing the process can often lead to burnout and errors, and it's better to take a phased approach than to force a major shift overnight. This can be avoided by setting realistic timelines that allows for thorough planning and implementation. Finally, a lack of proper training and support. So people resist what they don't understand. And without adequate training, employees will struggle, making them more likely to push back against the change. So to avoid this, businesses should ensure and provide comprehensive training programs to equip their employees with the necessary skills. And I'm sure by being mindful of these common mistakes and taking proactive steps to avoid them, businesses can enhance the success of their change initiatives.
Well, but let's finally, how can organizations measure their success of or the success of their change management efforts? After putting all of these efforts, how can it be measured?
Thank you. That was an excellent question because at the end of the day, change without measurable results is just disruption. And there are 5 indicators that organizations should track to evaluate the success of their change initiatives. First, employee adoption rates. If a company implements a new system process, how many employees are actively using it? If adoption is low, it signals that there's a need for more training or better communication. Secondly, the performance metrics. Businesses must measure whether the change is the change is intended, is having its intended impacts. Are the sales improving? Are the finances improving? Is efficiency increasing? According to a 2021 report conducted by Project Management Institute in collaboration with PwC, 37% of change initiatives fail primarily due to unclear or poorly defined success criteria. Thirdly, employee feedback and sentiment. So how do employees feel about the change? You have to conduct surveys, hold feedback sections, and this will help engaging the morale, uncovering any underlying issues and identifying areas for improvement. Fourthly, customer satisfaction. If the change affects customers, their response is a critical measure of success. So a transformation that negatively impacts the customer experience is a failure, no matter how well it works internally. Finally, the ROI, which is the return on investment, at the core of any change initiative. It is the expectation of positive outcomes for the business. So did the change lead to increased revenue, cost savings, or other tangible benefits? If not, it might require some tweaks and adjustments. So measuring success isn't just about numbers. It's about understanding both the qualitative and the quantitative impact of change, which companies track. And when companies track these indicators, they gain a clear picture of whether the transformation effort is working or needs recalibration. So finally, one has to know that change is inevitable, but struggle is optional. Because the businesses that embrace a structured, people-centric approach to transformation will not only survive, but they will thrive, whether in Nigeria or anywhere in the world. Organizations that communicate clearly, involving employees and balancing the innovation with stability will come out stronger on the other side. And always remember, change is like jollof rice. So the right ingredient will make.
I love jollof rice.
I got it there, yeah?
Go ahead.
So the right ingredient will always make all the differences.
Yeah, honestly, I must say this is an interesting conversation with you. Hope to see you again on the show very soon. Mr. Dennis Ekara is a business analyst. He joined us from the UK, telling us about innovative strategies for success, change, and all of that in businesses and organizations. I must thank you so much for your time. Do enjoy the rest of your day. And don't forget, we'll have jollof rice when next we see.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, it's time.